those chattering teeth, that frost-burnt skin. Looks like someone just checked Cloister off their sightseeing list.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Ooh, I do love a good brain teaser. How would you know this isn't a trap? No, don't tell me. I'll figure this out. I just need to perform a few hundred calculations or so. Child's play. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop, of course, she does seem to be logging more hours. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding... Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? Feedback noted. May all your problems...
Please don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
Go about your business, Order. People, I suppose I shouldn't call them scum. Do not be alarmed. I am not here to execute any of you. Yet.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus.
Huh. This is prime real estate, and it's sitting abandoned. Reckon it even occurred to the Order that they could board the folk at Matriarch's Mercy here? How did your hypothesis about the flowers fit?
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Lift access is currently restricted. Keep moving.
Agent, over here. Well, this is a welcome confluence of events. Why, without you, Gertie and I wouldn't be alive. And any hope of peace between the Order and Auntie's choice would be over. Shame about all the disorder. The negotiations had not been going as smoothly as I'd hoped, it's true, but we were making progress. While making our escape, we encountered one of the renegades of my order, wounded and dying. He sought to unburden himself, now convinced Wiley's calculations were wrong. He told us all about that terrible DeVries woman's plan, and theorized you must have stopped her. Well, I think that's what he said. There was quite a lot of gurgling. You have mine and Gertie's utmost gratitude for intervening. Had she succeeded in assassinating us, it would have terminated any hope for peace. Despite the inherent complexity of such disparate factors converging, I do not share your pessimism. Peace talks between the Order and Auntie's Choice have admittedly stalled. However, Gertie and I have kept up communication through back channels, in hopes to reconvene discussions. To begin, I believe you would need to put forth efforts in good faith with each of the two groups. Earning the trust of both sides is essential. You're already on your way, in that respect. Once you've worked your way up to meeting our respective leaders, you must convince them to consider joining forces. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. I predicted a troubling likelihood of you saying that. But a slim chance of you reconsidering later remains.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
Hello, stranger. Mercenary. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Any undue rage you note in my tone is not at all related to the recent coup in my beloved Protectorate. I do so dearly love residing in a nest of traitors, waiting for them to capitulate, unable to aid my fellows at home. It is truly a wonderful feeling.
As do I, Conciliator.
Row, is it? I should think I'd mistake you for a mercenary, considering the band you travel with. What is it you're doing? I do not. However, I have faith in our arbiters. I'm sure his reasoning is sound. Whatever the case for your traveling together, I hope it avails the Protectorate of much. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate, which would now include the Protectorate at large. Madness, slandering my beloved sovereign, following that feckless consul, makes my blood boil. I had reason to suspect the consul for some time, but this is beyond the range of simple suspicion. Some subjects had begun to doubt the sovereign's ability to lead as his father had. But I did not expect them to turn so openly. Anyone who didn't side with the sovereign will pay, sooner or later. You may count on it. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else.
I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat.
Your admittance to the Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning may come at a later date, as determined by the Office of the Oracle Laureate.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Yet, most others with aims to rule it are filled with aspirations of grandeur. Ruth is the sole individual capable of interpreting situations objectively. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. Well, I hope you'll see in time. There is a task of pivotal importance to the Order, but I cannot entrust it with just any come-by-chance outsider. As head of the Order's exemplars, it's my responsibility to assess whose aims upon Ruth may be malicious. Prove yourself to me first, then we may discuss the rest. I suppose it must not be as important that you gain the Order's aid as you so claimed. Otherwise, you surely wouldn't be irritating your lone method of ingress. I understand my appearance. I did not intend to gain this role before I had sufficiently accrued wisdom. But I believe I was chosen for a reason. To hasten our path to ascension. One obstacle in that path is at the forefront of my mind. Cultists have come to infest Newton, an important Order heritage site. I have wanted them gone for months. Newton's value is purely spiritual. It contains nothing of strategic value, nor is it a useful staging point. It pains me, but I can't allow myself to commit resources to it. I can, however, commit personal funds and personal favors to individuals ready to weigh the numbers on our side. Journey to Newton. Eliminate the cultists to a person. Then we may speak of getting you an audience with Ruth. Newton contains the Six Pillars Chantry, which was one of the first temples founded after Arcadia's colonization. It's over 100 years old. The cultists are likely profaning it. But even if they aren't, I don't want them there. Our loss of Newton is symbolic. If we cannot protect it, how can we protect Arcadia? I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Though I would most merrily hunt those fiends without aid, perhaps that pet cultist of yours could avail us against those infesting Newton.
That's one way to become the center of attention. Well, aren't you the eccentric sort?
Did you know around 1,000 species of bacteria live on human skin? A fascinating, if not relevant, bit of trivia, wouldn't you agree? And prodding me was intended to, at any rate, I am quite conscious, merely waiting. I can assure you that of my numerous psychic afflictions, sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today. Oh no. You know what they say about having too many totalizers on the same sum? Precisely. Oh my goodness, it's refreshing to convert. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introduction. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin micro. But now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chap prior to the war. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable. How unexpected. Please return when you've found all four. I will be here. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Impossible, I'm afraid. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with...
What a lamentable state of affairs. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair. Imagine if you're... Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. Belief in the... Not to worry. You are still young in the grand scheme. And purloin from you such a perfect opportunity to serve the plan? I wouldn't dare cogitate on it. Besides, I don't know the first thing about such repairs. Why, I'd be more apt to electrocute myself than anything else. Through the plan, yes. Yes, I dare say you're right. This must be the true intention behind our meeting. Stand back now and observe the proficiency of a true disciple of the plan.
For pity's sake, is it the pump or the sealant? Industrial sciences mostly. Now the fountain's broken and I can't. Useless. I'm useless. Am I fretting? No. Well, there was Roberto. But then he was assigned to the delegation and I should have theorized as much. We had an avalanche I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. The garden is supposed to be perfect. If I can't nip this issue in the proverbial bud, who knows what might happen as a result? No, of course. Oh, hello again. Well, I have never wished more strongly to be reduced to my atomic parts. Resiliency is taught in all remedial courses.
Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions.
Oh, thank you very much.
My friend is meeting me here later.
Well, first
of all,
of course, see my face shining as well.
frankly, pissed off.
At your word, I shall charge!
Electrical dampers failing.
You have my thanks and my hammer. Me! You get the claw! Drop in my claw!
Hostile.
All subjects prosper under our beneficent ruler.
Protectorate outpost wiped off the map. On to the next.
electrical damage. Failing.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
dealt with. Auntie's forces ought to pay handsomely for a job well done.
Lethally! My thanks and my hammer.
My aftermarket parts are for us.
Albeit the bridge has been totally isolated from reinforcements. The protectorate assaulted so quickly, we couldn't even begin to respond.
50 Bits says that plan came from the archive itself. Their field movements have been shockingly well coordinated since they locked us out of that damn machine.
Maybe a strategic plan would have been a better use for it than making more money. Maybe we'd won by now.
That's just crazy talk.
There is no cold that can get no hold. You, what? Yeah, Brummelbaum, I'm well, masterful even. Got me covered in with Brummelbaum. There ain't no cold that can get no hold on me. It made me a little hot. So hot, I stripped down to get some air. No, I think it's doing. I'm warm as could be. No, nope. They were too hot. Why I undressed. What? Nah, they're the whole reason I'm out. I mean, I don't remember exactly. But if you see him, tell him I said made me a little hot. Okay, if you think it's a good idea, but. Thank you greatly for your assistance. I feel so much better now. Suppose I lost my head there for a bit.
Back in business.
Move it.
Jack, glad to see you finally. Jack, where are your clothes?
I'm not sure. I remember scouting, and then suddenly I'd lost my clothes and was terribly cold. Then I was saved by a selfless being who didn't even ask for payment.
Sure, Jack, sure. Let's just get you inside and warm you up.
This way.
Can't you see I'm on the clock here? Can't you see I'm busy trying to look busy?
Thank you greatly for your assistance. I feel so much better now.
Pleasure not doing business.
Suppose I lost my head there for a bit.
Yes?
Beckett was right. Solitude has been good for my studies. In just 93 days, I have made extraordinary progress deciphering the truths of our universe. For instance, there are none. None whatsoever. Objective reality is itself a concept invented by subjective observers eager to apply reason to chaos. In light of that view, better to assume we are all sleepwalkers, sharing the same dream of consciousness. We are the universe attempting to know itself. Wow. Life-affirming, in a way. And to think, I almost walked out into that blizzard last week.
Now press the second switch and hold down the blue button for 3 seconds to arm.
Wait a tick. Earlier you told me it was the red button.
No, you idiot. It was definitely the blue one.
Boyd, I swear, if this blows up...
Now I have to do paperwork for accidental weapons discharge. Oh, it was the red button.
friend, I anticipated simple maintenance. But what you've done is pure, architect-inspired artistry. This level of fine-tuning to the voltage monitoring system is breathtaking. Such magnificent work is most definitely worthy of a reward. Truly, the plan has provided by sending you to my aid. That is most unfortunate, but at least his sacrifice did help improve the operations per millisecond. I will include his name in the records for this.
What is with the anomalous behavior?
Ready to waste it. On your command.
We've dealt with all of them. Ah, that was a close one. Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
You okay? Seem off by a few decimal points.
No offense to Val, but it's real. Anyway, need something, Commander?
It's strange how I ended up here. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized. You may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive. Reckless, even. Not too reckless to heed your counsel, at least when it comes to the remnants of the Dawn.
magnificent weapons. They have the greatest destructive potential the Protectorate can bring to bear. Tell me then, why should they not have been installed here?
Not an issue of ammunition or targeting calculation capacity. Is it because of the low ambient temperature on Cloister?
Very astute. The ambient temperature is indeed below a critical threshold at all times. Yet the Protectorate ignored our warning.
Instances might be angry.
Correct. At every turn we try to guide them to drive
Lovely day for differential geometry.
past their own universe. Thank our computers are no longer exposed to such.
Another object, just gone. Nothing should work that way. No matter how often the data is verified and sanctioned, it is difficult to believe.
I concur. I would give an internal organ or two to understand it. And excuse me, I don't think you have the author's...
It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact with the rift. Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with, or mathematical... Wait. Actually, this isn't some jest. You'll have to forgive me for not taking your assertion at face value.
All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
But in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. Lord damn it. It's reverted to its previous state. Is it a failing of the device, or an inevitable effect of the passage of time? Perhaps the architect has imposed certain limits on the rifts. Architect above? That was incredible. From observe, it seems to be using some kind of energy burst generated by a magnetic field to re-deregulate the structure of the field around the rift. That's quite ingenious. The rifts are unlike any... Would you consider allowing me the opportunity to open the casing and examine the inner... Thank you for the demonstration. It was most enlightening. You have given my... It seems rifts do not fit cleanly into our current...
Fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift, but it somehow maintains its position in space relative to the solar system.
Hurry! Assistant, activate the monitoring equipment and take readings. Again, it has reverted. The timing seems similar to the last state change. But is that indicative of the properties of the rift or of the device?
Captain, I fear I have a confession to make. I have found being present on Cloister underwhelming.
Really? What part about the situation is underwhelming? The corporate invaders killing our scientists en masse?
rift should cause us no problems now that we've acquired the modulator.
You there. You need to leave. This is a holy site, traitor. Those shunned by the dawn are not welcome. Did you not hear me? You must leave unless you wish to be ushered into But please, give me an excuse to kill the betrayer of our exalted leader.
Betrayer? How dare you? I'm no betrayer. It is all of us who were betrayed. Summon your hierarch now if you value your wretched life.
I don't... that is... I can't... Hierarch! Hierarch Wolcott! You're needed over here! So, the power to manipulate rifts. That seems, let me just say I apologize if I've offended you in any way.
Wolcott? Wolcott's your hierarch? Shit.
Well, look here. I never expected to see you again, Azahelia. Here to spread more deceptions like your broadcast.
Wolcott here blamed his lack of ascension in our ranks on imagined machinations on my part instead of the real cause. His thoroughly sycophantic ineptitude.
Well, this has been delightful, as always, Asahelia. What say I have my sycophants kill you now? Unless you have any further inanities to spew as your last words.
Just that I might have regretted killing everyone here if they'd not been following a disgrace such as yourself. But now, I'm going to enjoy it.
Do the deceptions never end with you and your ilk? I'm no fool. What you claim is an impossibility. How would such a thing even work? Well, I must say I appreciate your candor. If it does in fact do what you say. A lot of crazed theoreticians about, selling the gullible intellectual nostrums. Come, prove to me this device can do what you say, then I will decide. But let me assure you, if you do anything but follow me to the rift, violence will ensue. I must admit to a certain modicum of suspicion towards your claims, but consider my interest piqued.
Why is the hierarch leading outsiders to the rift?
Something of great import is afoot. No one gets escorted to the rift.
Is it time for sacrifices? When's our turn?
Acolyte Martin said he heard them talking about a device that can change the nature of the rifts.
That's preposterous. There's some tomfoolery at hand.
Is that Pazza the betrayer? Why is she here? And why is she still alive?
If you can indeed control the rift, as you say, that changes things. It could force us to rethink our understanding of the rifts, but we are nothing if not truth seekers. We are here. Prove to me that your device can manipulate the rift, as you claim. Well, I'm waiting. Show me what that device can do. Gods, this should not be possible. That device borders on the heretical. You will hand it over now, and then we shall decide what to do with you. And we are. But there is some chicanery afoot. It is not possible to change the nature of the rifts. They are the ultimate expression of the Architect's plan for humanity. So hand over that device, and your punishment may not be fatal.
Might be best to scarp her off before the bullets start flying.
Glorious dawn! Attack the interlopers! This should not be possible. That device borders on the heretical. You will hand it over now, and then we shall decide what to do with you.
And if you'd actually listened instead of being your normal fool self, you'd understand why. The leader betrayed us to the Sentinels to save herself. And if they get to you, I'm sure you'd sell me out too. Say the word and I'll just kill you now. Or get out and tell your lackeys to do the same.
I did listen. I just refused to believe. I was always jealous of your closeness to the leader. But you have a device with the power to manipulate the rifts. A power she never had, or withheld from us. I am loath to admit it, but I must accept it. The dawn can be no more. Acolytes of the glorious dawn, prepare. We leave this place within the hour, and then we must separate and save ourselves.
I am thoroughly perplexed you were able to convince Wolcott by word alone that we should give arcane wisdom to have forced Wolcott's hand so.
I shall oversee the exodus of my acolytes forthwith.
To obey the dictates of our leaders. I am content. I am loyal. I am happy to obey the dictates of our leaders.
Well, we have visitors. At first, we thought they were converts to the Order, newly initiated into the wonders and glory of the plan. And they, they apparently mistook us for believers of their zealous delusion. They are nonsensically worshippers of the rifts. The literal, actual rifts.
From the esteemed leader themselves.
Through the rifts, we transcend this mortal coil and are united in an ethereal utopia. Instead of the more likely experience of having one's atoms ripped apart. Still, despite their peculiar notions and rituals, we did not consider this to be disqualifying of our good grace and hospitality. Until they tossed Johansson into the rift. And while I cannot say for certain what happens when you pass through a rift, those of us who remain have no intention of finding out. We are planning a quiet exit in the night.
Ours is not to question why. Ours is to obey. If it's time for us to go,
I found what I was looking for. No need to continue messing with the Dawn's communication devices.
Something down there?
You bring a cultist into my presence? I hope this isn't a sign you've lost your nerve. Or are you planning on removing the cultists from Newton one at a time, like this one here? I was expecting different results.
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. The Dawn and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the bloody particulars? Of course. How could you think otherwise? That was the best part.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. Here's something for your trouble. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. I have reasons something predicted has come to pass. If you believe solving the universe's greatest mysteries is busy work, then I suppose this is. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. Correct. I've received reports of Protectorate troops capturing the crash site. They're likely wary of anyone attempting to tamper with their data. Many specialists who could handle this task are occupied with the fighting on Cloister, and we can't send a large force lest the Protectorate destroy the satellite. So we need you. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the Scientician in question. Please peruse.
day treating the same strange vibration.
Unauthorized visitors are not authorized. No legitimate key card, no entry. You have no verifiable right to be here.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
I'm known to hold a grudge, you know.
Breaking into water reconditioning, are we? breaking into water reconditioning, are we? Someone has a good nose for trouble, it would seem. We can talk more, but not here. We might attract unwanted attention. Let's talk somewhere more private. Well, hello. I can assure you the acoustics are minimal. And besides, I don't see anyone within earshot. Do you? Kill you? When we're only just getting to know one another? On the contrary, I need your help proving a certain theory of mine. I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Callous. I can work with that. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Who knew you had such a keen mind for business? I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. Well, I'm not asking you to do something an honest person would. Think of this as a business transaction, if that... No. This is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival. But what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Thankfully, you've already accessed the facility, so we needn't bother the Oracle Laureate for a keycard. That would have been a fairly risky proposition, to say the least. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. And I'd like to offload... I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but who knows? The plan missed...
On a scale of 1 to 100.
Oh,
Help you with some...
Give the order in!
Make plain your intentions. Giving chase. Forever vigilant. Indicating hostile act.
Gloria, Arcadia, never to be outshone. Our colony, Arcadia, our home.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Increases tractability, stymies untoward inclination, and refashions the mind into a state of symmetry. Corrective cognitive compliance is a key part of your and others are not. Mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental... Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are